Hello once again, dear viewers and listeners of this wonderful, amazing, and such a beautiful episode. Another day that we have much lined up for you. Remember, this is Connect 254 Media coming to you live on all our platforms. That is on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, and on Facebook, where you can catch up with us. Once you like, you share, you subscribe, you do all that is required of you. You'll be here to get inspired and get much happening around the world. We're excited today. We have a very, very big topic that we shall be dissecting with our guest on set. Such an amazing guest. We call him Dennis Mwaki.
If you begin something, you have to make sure that every time, consistently, you're doing it.
It's not a bad thing on my end. You know, it gives a man the sense of ownership.
For the longest time since childhood, I kept on saying that I want to be a lawyer.
Kutoka Kakamega tukamleta Nairobi JKA, alikuja na ndege.
Wow.
Hello, how are you doing, Dennis?
I'm fine.
Welcome so much to Connect to 54 Media. Good to see you. You look sharp. Just a moment of introducing yourself so that our viewers can know you by mentioning your name and what you do before we begin our topic today about youth and leadership, which is our focus.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm Dennis Mwaki. I'm a youth leader from the Rakanithi County. I've been a student leader at KCA, present there for 2 years. Yeah.
Dennis, are you a politician? or do you aspire to be a politician if you are not at this moment?
Why do you ask that?
You look like one.
So if you've just made a conclusion from what I look like.
Okay.
It's a good dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the first sight impression speaks.
Yeah, it's a good dream.
But you're a leader.
Yeah.
And you look like one also.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome so much, Dennis. Our viewers, Dennis is a youth leader. He's somebody who has led students in campus back in the days. Then outside campus, he's also a leader in different spheres. Probably Dennis can tell us the positions of leadership you are holding as we speak at the moment.
Right now?
Yes.
Yeah, right now I'm the chairperson of the Rakanithi Youth and Student Association. Yeah.
As the Rakanithi Students Association that brings together...
Youth and Student Association.
Yes.
Yeah.
That brings together young people who come from probably diverse backgrounds. What specifically do you do together in your association that you lead?
In our association, we do trainings. Yeah, we do leadership trainings, and we train people to what we call game changers.
Okay.
Yeah, you're trained on how you can make impact at your level as a youth, as a Gen Z, as a student. Yeah, how you can drive change in the community, at your workplace, anywhere. That is one of our core goals.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have already trained 2 to 3 cohorts. Each cohort of about 10 to 15. But sure, those people, those young men, are going to make brilliant impact.
Okay.
Yeah, once you're trained, you graduate and you're called a game changer. Yeah.
You go out and become a leader.
Yeah.
I believe it's more of mentorship to some extent. And a leader, just a simple definition, means somebody who guides, somebody who takes lead or takes charge of a given group with a focused vision. And I believe this is something that you've done even from your days in campus as a student leader, as a president of students in a whole university, then even later in life with the activities that you've lined up that you continue doing. In Kenya, the youth command close to 75% of the entire population, which is estimated at 50 million or so. Do you think youths are coming out to be good leaders? Because there's this common narrative that vijana nyinyi ni viongozi wa kesho, that you are the leaders of tomorrow. But again, you come out crying that tomorrow never comes. Do you think the youth are included in the Kenyan leadership the way you feel they should be included?
First time, for the youth to be included in the Kenyan leadership, they have to be included in the decision makings.
Okay.
Because, government works with policies. You understand? Government, as a way of how it works. Therefore, yes, as a matter of fact, youth are not included in the leadership to some percent. We can't say they are not there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the ones who are there being involved in the decision making. There are two different things.
Oh, yes.
You can be a leader and you're not involved in the decision
Making
making.
any decision, okay.
Yeah, at times when I was just seated somewhere and when we were sharing with someone some months ago about the same issue, I had the idea of why do we have women reps, which is okay. It's an affirmative action seat because we have women who maybe now they're not represented well.
That's
but
true.
Why don't you have an affirmative action now that over 75% of Kenya's population is made up of the young generations or the youths?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you have an affirmative action so that we can have a seat? You see the way we have women reps?
Yes.
Representing women from every county.
So
why
you
don't
suggest
you
we
have
a
an
youth
affirmative
representative?
action
Okay.
from every county
Mm-hmm.
that youth can also be able to elect their own maybe senators or something or MPs? Because if we are not represented in parliament,
Yes.
we are doomed. But it's good now. There's good progress because you can see the vibrant youthful leaders in parliament.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is good actually. And once you even sit down and see the counties or the maybe constituencies which are doing quite good,
Oh, yes.
they are the ones mostly led by youths.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, that is a good indication that youth in leadership can really make impact.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's this fear that probably when youths are entrusted with the leadership, especially some major positions, both in the government or in the public service, then they tend to act out of the quickness of getting things in life. They tend to work so much on their own satisfaction, being that they are young, they are so energetic, they are full of ideas. They run things so fast to an extent that they don't look at the experience, but again they look at how fast can we do things. Ni wale wa kufanya vitu pap, then we move to the next one. Is it a reason why probably the youth are not so much entrusted with the leadership?
No, that is not the reason. That is the reason which has been put there by those in, not everyone.
Okay.
Those maybe in those older or those who are not youths, so that they can get a way of ensuring the youths are not in leadership. Because you don't tell me there is any problem of building a class fast. There is no problem of having drugs in hospital when they are needed.
Mm-hmm.
There is no problem of having a pothole on road covered fast.
Okay.
Therefore, that's just a narrative which has been put there by those older people who maybe don't believe in youth leadership.
Okay.
But I believe that fastness, that quickness, not only in Kenya, even in the world, is what is needed to drive change.
Okay.
Look at what is happening at French. They are president youthful. Look at what is happening at Senegal. Yeah. You see, there's a lot of impact being made by the young people in leadership.
Okay.
Therefore, there's no issue about doing things fast.
Mm-hmm.
What is the problem with that? Hakuna shida kwa hiyo kabisa.
Iko sawa.
Iko sawa.
Do you believe at one point we'll have a president who is within the age bracket of a youth? Probably 18 to 25?
How? In Kenya, how?
Yes, in Kenya.
How? The constitution says you have to be more than 35 years.
Okay.
That is why I've told you we need youths
Uh-huh.
in decision-making tables.
Okay.
That is why now, you see, because the constitution has said for you to be a president, you have to be more than 35 years old, right?
Yes.
So the constitution should ensure these people who are below 35 years have somewhere where they can be involved in decision making.
Okay.
Yes, the constitution puts down the National Youth Council, which as a matter of fact is not operational, not from 2022, but even the last youth council elections, National Youth Council elections were held back 10 years ago, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So the reasons, even the CEO who is there is an acting one. The reasons, I don't know the reasons, but I don't think right now it's logic to imagine because the constitution does not allow that anyway.
Okay.
So the only thing that can change if the constitution is changed.
Okay, so that the age gap can
Yeah.
be bridged again.
Yeah.
Because you've given an example of countries like France and some of our African countries where they may not be necessarily youths between the 18 to 35, but again they are young presidents
Yeah.
that we may have.
Yeah.
So it's a dream
Yeah.
that will one day come true,
Yeah.
if you believe so.
Yeah.
Youths are having a lot of issues, we can call them challenges that they are going through. In
Okay.
Kenya, you hear each and every morning, each and every day, they complain about a lot of things. We've talked about inclusion in the government systems and in leadership. Then there are these other factors that are bringing them down. Talk of unemployment, talk of issues education and the system, talk of issues of getting fine opportunities even in their day-to-day lives. As a leader, I believe you got the call and you are putting more efforts to get solutions to the problems or the challenges that the youth are facing. Maybe you've identified some of these challenges. What are the things you are thinking about or you are doing together with the other leaders, together with the other youths that you get along with, so that you can put things in place?
In my own capacity, as I've just told you, as a leader, first I usually tell every young people, because I'm a young person too,
Yes.
that we are the change we need. Yeah. That's why I've told you we do mentorship. We help people realize you have to go for it yourself. There's no one who will come and tell you. You know, there's also a challenge that there are so many young people are unemployed, but go for a meeting, do a political meeting or a gathering. Ask, there is this application, this and this and that. Most people there don't really, they have lost hope actually. You understand?
They don't go for the opportunities.
Yeah, so that is why now
chances.
they need, that is now why they need the mentorships.
Okay, and
To
empowerment.
realize
Okay.
you can go for something. You understand?
Yes.
You can still go for something and try drive change, even if bado mambo ijafunguka vizuri.
Okay.
Therefore, as a leader, as I've told you, I usually advocate for being involved. Youth should be involved in their decision-making tables. County government, out of maybe 10 CCs, our ministers from the county, there should be a policy which is giving the youths a leeway that a certain percent should be of the youths.
Okay.
And you know, people may believe you're talking about this because you are youths right now, but we are not youths forever. We're going to live. But now you don't tell me how 75% of Kenyan's population is not, there is no an affirmative action directive which is there. And there is not a problem which has started right now. It is a problem which I think was a gap during the making of the Constitution, 2013 Constitution, because I feel it's somehow unfair to have women reps, but we don't have youth representatives at Senate or at Parliament. Why? Yeah, we need them there. Let them be there. You see now, even in those in government in top positions,
Yes.
they are finding themselves in many problems because, you see, if a county could be having a youth representative,
okay.
the same way we have a women representative in Parliament,
Yes.
these youths who are now organizing, maybe who have been organizing demonstrations, could be questioning that person. You understand?
Yes, yes.
But now they don't have someone to question. Therefore, they go to the person in top.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've talked about youths taking some actions. For instance, demonstrations that we just saw, even some moments back here in Kenya, where the Gen Z uprising came out with so much energy that changed a lot and changed the political status of Kenya, changed a lot in the government. Changed the perspective of how people are looking at the youth. There are a lot of things that are happening in our country. Talk of political intolerance, talk of negative political utterances, talk about, we can say, respect and disrespect of leaders being displayed in public. Why don't we see the Gen Z talk about such kind of issues rather than just taking the kind of actions that we saw back then? For instance, the challenges that you pointed out. We want to come to a point where we see the Gen Z coming out in numbers, coming out with one voice, even to speak about the other challenges, even if not taking over the government and changing leadership. Do you think it's possible?
First, it's good to note that Gen Zs are calling out leaders who are who are being disrespectful to other leaders.
Okay.
Yeah, because we are on X, all of us. You can see, Gen Zs or the youth, you are trying to imagine the best way they could have done this is through demonstrations, but not really.
Okay.
Even through dropping a comment on social media is a way of saying this is wrong.
But are they visible? Do their target audience get to hear their voices through X Space?
Yeah, they
Facebook
do.
Or TikTok, okay?
Yeah, if the president of Kenya and the owner, he had the honor of having an X-Space meeting.
With the youth.
Who else did?
Okay.
You understand? But I have a big problem with leaders who believe change can be driven via insult. You understand?
Yes.
I have a big problem with that.
Okay.
I have a big problem with leaders who believe disrespect, can be used to drive change. Because you don't tell me why I believe I can stand up in a podium at a funeral and I represent people of a county as a senator,
Okay.
and disrespect the president there. And I expect those people, we have to look on both sides. And I expect those people, once they tell me they need this or done, this president, to even together, leave alone even now approaching the president and telling him to get that courage to the president and now go say, you know what, Mr. President, I need this and this and this and this. Therefore, there should also be a way of those leaders realizing that, it's not about insult, it's not about name calling,
Okay.
it's not about maybe now bullying someone. Once I wake up, I call you this name. It doesn't work. It doesn't help us.
Okay.
Yeah, if I have a problem with you as a person, why don't I question you by telling you are not doing this?
Okay.
You understand?
I get you.
Yeah. So the current leaders who have been there, maybe driving on insult, driving on maybe name calling and other things. I think it's early time which they just think of, if someone is seated at US
Yes.
and watching Kenyan news at 9 p.m.,
What kind of
what
image
is the
is it
portfolio? What is
displaying?
the view
Okay.
will they drive? Yeah, so I believe it should start with them. But on matters Gen Zs, I know we are going to get there. We're going to discuss more.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, it's good also to note a few things about Gen Zs, positively actually.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to discuss once we get there.
We'll talk about it.
Hey.
Remember, this is Connect 254 with our guest on set, Dennis Mwaki, who is a youth leader. In Tharaka-Nithi County, is commanding a very active group of the youth, and even countrywide. He's one of the voices that you'll hear about, and you'll continue getting his opinion on most of the things that affect the youth. Being a student leader in the university also gives him a lot of energy to speak about some of the things that the young people go through in the country and even beyond. Keep subscribing. Give us your comment on our links, on our pages, on our handles at YouTube at Connect254 Media, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook at Connect254 Media, so that we can also get your opinion and your view about the topics that we are talking about. Today, focusing on youth and politics. Back to you, Dennis. We read a lot of comments. We see a lot of views. We see most of the things that the youth are speaking about, and again, putting the weight of the political alignments in the country.
Okay.
You'll hear the narratives of the broad-based government, then the opposition and the united opposition, those who are pro-government and anti-government. Then it seems the youth are somewhere in the middle. Take, for instance, when a narrative came about, when the IEBC started a voter registration drive that is now open until the end of the month of April. The youth came out with a narrative, Tuko Kadi, which is now common in the mouths of the Kenyans. But it came a point, it seemed some political leaders took the narrative and used it, some to encourage people to get out and vote, some to run their political desires. Where are the youth? Are they somewhere in the middle? Which side are they? And as you comment about that, from your own observation, not only in Tharaka Nithi County, not only in Nairobi County, but from your own spot check, are the youth, especially the Gen Z, coming out to register as voters, even as they run this narrative to Kukadi?
Sure. You have asked, let me just go a question by a question.
Yeah, which is okay.
Yeah, you have asked, where are the youths?
Mm-hmm.
It's good to note that the youths are on all sides, both for government and some against the government.
Okay.
Yeah, Tukokadi was a clarion call to tell people, get votes. Ensure you are registered as a voter.
Yes.
So that you can be able to replace a leader who is not working. So that you can be able to get get leaders in position who are working.
Okay.
Also, you can be... Also, let me put it in Swahili. Bado unaweza kuwa kadi and use that card to appreciate by electing someone back who is doing something.
Okay.
Yeah, and also, I mean, we cannot... it's good to be honest.
Yes, yes.
Tukokadi was to mobilize people to get
the voters' cards.
The voter card. And voter cards are used in elections.
Yes.
Electoral process is a political process. Therefore, you cannot drive away politicians from it.
Okay.
That's a fact. Because this Tukokadi, every politician want to mobilize his team to get in, because they are youths who are for government. You saw them last week.
Yes.
They walked in town. Yeah, so I find no problem with that, because the head goal is ensuring youths are registered as voters so that they can be represented there, and not only for the presidential ballot, down to MCS.
Yes, yes.
Therefore, I believe it's a good thing, first, but the youths are on both sides. It's good to know that. You know, I don't know why people are tending to forget. You know, these youths whom we are seeing, or these Gen Zs whom we are really appreciating, they're there. And you're appreciating they are good people which we can use them to ensure we have good leadership. It's good to note that Gen Zs are a bit tribal. Yeah.
But they say they are tribeless, they are leaderless.
No, please. Gen Zs are tribal.
They are everything less.
They are tribal. I'm a Gen Z. It's good to be honest with each other. I vied for elections at campus. For 4 years, I was actively involved in campus politics.
Okay.
And I want to be honest with you, that Gen Zs are tribal. Go there, you'll find right now, if there is an election ongoing to any university, you find that the alignment there are usually done based on your tribal background.
The ethnic community you come from.
Yeah, actually you find they even wazee, they're called elders.
Okay.
Now this tribe bring elders.
You make a kamkunji somewhere.
Yeah, that elders. They're kingmakers, those elders.
Okay.
They are brought together from different communities, and they're the people to decide the alignment. They're the people to decide the coalition agreement and so many other things. The same thing it is happening in national government.
So are the Gen Zs inheriting the same trait from what is happening probably in the national politics?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
They're not inheriting.
It's in them.
They are doing what is Kenyan. You know, at times we sit down and try to say, those leaders are tribal. I mean, politics is local. It starts from where you come from.
Okay.
Yeah. You are a Christian, and maybe I assume you're a Christian. Even Jesus, his first followers were from where he came from.
Yes.
You understand? So even Gen Zs, it's somehow funny how people are assuming that Gen Zs will only be there to vote against. No, not really. There are Gen Zs who are going to vote for what is there and what is working.
Okay.
There are Gen Zs who are not. They're going to vote against what is there.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm officially convinced that Gen Zs are more tribal. They are more tribal even than the elders. I want to be honest with you. They are more tribal even than the other generations. Yeah, I've been there. I can be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then when will the story change? Because we are growing a generation where we want to take Kenya out of things like lack of integrity, the fight against corruption must be sustained well, then things like the ethnic affiliations. Will we come to a point where we will have all these things thrown back?
Yeah, it's quite hard.
Because it depends with the current generation. Let me say the current generation.
Yeah, we'll come to that time.
Yes.
But it's quite hard.
Okay.
Yeah, first, it's okay to say Gen Zs have something which brings them together. That is why you see they can bond. That is why you saw during the first demonstration, the first 2 days, before things change on demonstrations,
Okay.
you could go there, fight someone is demonstrating, and that person could give you water, and that person could be a friend.
Without asking about your tribe or where you come from or your
Yeah,
status.
it's even said that there are people who got girlfriends from that and so many other things.
And they are married up to date.
Yeah, but now you see, it needs some time.
Okay.
Yeah, Gen Zs have something which brings them together because they have common problems,
Yes,
common
yes.
issues. They have the same way of solving issues.
Yeah, they speak the same sort
their
of language.
social
and
media
slang.
really drives them.
Okay.
But now you don't forget that they have parents. Understand?
Yes,
They have origin.
Okay.
Yeah, it will take time, but I'm sure it will come to an end. But as it is, Gen Zs are also tribal.
Okay.
They're tribal because they constitute the highest percentage in our campuses. They do elections in campuses, and campus elections, they are done politically. I want to be honest with you. They are done politically,
Yes.
and they are done
On tribal blocks.
on tribal blocks.
It's a
That is the word
challenge.
yeah.
Okay.
So, it will take a lot. It will take a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
But do you believe at one point things will be on a flat table?
Yeah, it will.
Let me get you back to campus politics a bit before we go to the next issue on the table. You've told us about how campus politics is done. There is that time when the policy was everybody would come out and vote the executive office, the chairperson, the secretary general, and all that. But nowadays, there's that new policy where it's delegate system.
On delegates.
What's your take on these issues to do with the delegate system? I know Kenya is going to elections next year, 2027. But again, being in campus or being in college or being in school is sort of you're practicing what you will do even later in life. So
Sure.
even when we do politics and elections in campus, it sort of teaches you, it sort of gives you a practice of what you may do next in life. For instance, after campus, you are now out there and you are a politician and you're a leader, even out of school. Comparing the two systems, which one is working well, and do you think democracy is still at its stake?
Yeah, it's democratic.
Okay.
The reason why the one man, one vote election maybe mode
Yes.
was changed to delegates is
Infiltration.
infiltration of politicians by politicians.
Okay.
That's the word. You see now, it's usually expensive to do elections delegate way more than the one man, one way.
Yeah, the open system, one man, one
Yeah,
vote. Okay.
yeah. Because you realize that for the delegates, it may look simple, but you as the president of the aspirant, you have to finance all your delegates. You have to be there with all your delegates.
Okay.
You have to ensure they win so that they can vote for you. The other one, you could just come there, and because you are aligned
Yes.
to a certain tribe, to a certain something,
Okay.
you can come there, upate maneno iko hivi, iko hivi.
You are the student's favorite, then
Yeah.
you get the votes and win.
Yeah.
Continue
So
with your work.
even ile swali yako ulikuwa umeuliza a few minutes ago about kumaliza tribalism and everything. Delegates has caught that down.
Okay.
Delegate system has brought a bit sanity, a little sanity hapo kidogo. Si ati pia iko a bit, because politics in campus is a bit, it's about young people, and young people are energetic,
Yes.
and they have a lot of time, so they lack resources. So wakipata resources, they become dangerous. Therefore, I advocate for delegate system, but also for the student to feel more represented it could be better if this delegate system could be done together with one man, one vote system. I don't know if you understand.
Okay.
There are universities in Rwanda and South Africa which you vote for the delegate and you still vote for the president.
Okay.
For you to win as a president, you have to ensure all your delegates they
You
have
get the
won,
majority of the
wamewin
delegates?
wote.
Okay.
Na wakiwin wote, for you not to win,
Mhm.
pia we lazima ukume win.
Oh.
In case you don't win and your delegates wamewin,
Yes.
there's a reader note on the presidential aspirant. In case the other way around,
Okay.
you understand?
Mhm.
I think there should be such strengthening. But delegate system brings sanity and brings a lot of, at least it fights, even if it's a bit tribal, it reduces a few things.
Okay.
Because you realize even these delegates, they are usually aligned based on tribal basis.
Okay.
You understand?
I get you.
Yeah.
Now close to the national politics, now that we've dissected a bit on campus politics and bringing it to the real life now, we know we are few months to elections and a lot is happening around. People are out there. There are young people who are also out there, some looking for political seats, some supporting different leaders. I know the registration of voters is ongoing, which is a good thing. There are section of Kenyans, especially the young people again, who look like they lost hope on Kenyan elections because they say, we know what will happen at the end of the day, so I don't even have to go out, register as a voter, to wake up very early in the morning, do queues and go take my time voting. Then at the end of the day, the obvious will happen. A message to such kind of Kenyan.
A message to them is that whatever they are saying happens day in, day out, every election is caused by what they do by not turning out to vote. Yeah.
Okay.
Turn up, vote. Yeah, everything ends at the polling station. I want to be honest with you.
Okay.
So if you don't vote, it means whoever you wish is not elected will be having an advantage. Whatever you have been fighting will have won. So let them turn up and vote.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not coming out to vote looks like you voted the wrong person.
Not turning up to vote.
Yes, yes.
Is supporting your opponent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ni kusupport yule mtu mwenye usupport.
Yes, yes.
Sababu you're giving him a leeway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wajitokeze, wachukue kura, wapige kura wakati ukifika. They practice their democratic right that is given by the constitution. I think that's the message.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dennis Mwaki. I think on the final bit of this interview, there are talks and there are many things still moving around about political alignments that we had touched a bit from the beginning of our show. You're a man from Tharaka-Nithi County, the county that is feared because of the stronghold and the numbers. I know much is happening in your county and even in the other counties. First, do you think the devolution and the emergence of county governments has given enough space even for the young people? Because most of the time it has been blames. But again, do you get proud of any good things that have been brought by the
Devolution?
The devolution.
I'm of the belief that the number of county governments should be reduced.
Yeah, from 47 to what number?
To something lesser or
Okay.
something lesser than 20.
Because
Because the more the numbers, the more the office is operational there.
okay.
And actually, as a matter of fact, it is easier for you to identify a class built by the area MP
Yes.
than
Than a project done by the county
Yeah.
government.
a project done by the county government.
Okay.
So I believe, actually, county governments are not as helpful as we thought they will be. So I believe they should be maybe reduced somehow. Because I mean, what country are we living in where you find a governor? Someone has been caught in the house with 1 billion. And you realize most of these extreme cases are in the county government. And that is why I also call my fellow, I urge my fellow youths that let us also focus on county government as we focus on national government, asking them to be accountable and that. Let us do that to the county government.
Okay.
Because you realize we have forgotten the county governments. The governors are free, and they're just running their allocations every year. The current president told them that there will be no delays.
Yes.
I haven't heard the governors complain about their delays.
Yes.
But what is changing? There are still no hospital. There are still no drugs in hospital, and not specifically the Rakanidi across the country.
Okay.
There are issues there. There are no drugs in hospital. There are stalled county projects. It's chaotic. I don't believe in county government personally, because I believe the county government system is a good system, but it's not really working as it should work in Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah, if you look at how county governments work at USA, you realize there's a big gap.
Okay.
You realize there are policies which are being run by governors at US. There are policies which are really more impactful even other than compared to the national government policies.
Yes, yes.
But look at what is happening here in Kenya. Nothing. We're just there, chilled, very comfortable. The Gen Zs held Mandamano for the first, the second financial year of the current government.
Yes.
They compressed or they pressed the president to the corner and the government to the extent of the president had to fire the entire cabinet. And he hired a new cabinet.
Yes.
He dropped the
finance bill was
finance
thrown
bill.
away, yes.
And let me be honest with you. It's good also we as youths, we talk the truth and we be honest. Since the Mandamano happened, since those demonstrations happened, the government started doing something. There's some few things in there. You see, if that could be happening in every county by county government, where could we be? Right now, you have the national government doing the Nyota project for the youths. It may look like it's nothing, but it's something. People are arguing you can't do business with how much money? With 50,000. But I mean, first let that money be given to the youths. That's what I say.
Yes, yes.
After the youths have received the money, let us give our views. Because that 50,000 will help someone somewhere.
Yes, and you can't pick it from nowhere.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So the national government has said that.
Okay.
The national government, there's last year I saw CS Mo2. We was working quite hard trying to maybe mobilize people to register, go abroad. The challenge is there, but the question is, let there be something being done. You understand? The president, people are challenging the president, saying the president is doing housing and asking people with degrees to go work there. But they are architects. There are people who have done design and other things who are going to work there.
Yes, yes, yes.
Also, if the president is doing that, and this is taking a few people there, what's the problem with that? So personally, I believe the current government has started doing something out of what happened then.
Okay.
Therefore, the county government can do something also if they are compressed. Yeah, because there are few things which I think have really helped to ensure there are no demonstrations, which people are really assuming, but they are not light things. They are issues which really touch directly to the youths.
The wananchi and the youth.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you tell if you are running a project for the youths about kwenda, they call it kazi majuu.
Yes, yes.
Or even kazi baharini,
The labor
or somewhere.
mobility and seeking for jobs.
Those
and
issues.
Okay.
Even the small idea of ensuring there's a policy which is being pushed about the youths, it's there. Yeah, I was even impressed to hear the president. There was something he said about you guys in creative economy. I don't remember how this issue about monetization and Facebook and what have you.
Content creation.
Those things, let those discussions be there in county government. Yeah, but now we have CECs there in charge of youth. The best thing they do there is just to do meetings and posts and not helping us.
Okay.
So personally, I believe the national government has really helped push them. Somehow, not the best they could do, but they have done something about the youth.
They've tried their level best.
About the youth agenda.
I get it.
But the county government have done nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a leader. and a youth leader to be specific. At one point, would you wish to go for a political seat or an elective seat? Not even mentioning the position,
The
but
positions.
would you wish to go for a political seat or an elective seat,
You know,
even in future?
You know, as times go by, you go building up something and you go realizing.
Okay.
That is why I believe, I don't have really to believe I should go for a seat for me to drive the change.
Okay.
Doesn't mean I can't go for it, but even as we tell the game changers, as we train them, what impact am I making right now? Yeah, it will make no sense if I wake up and think of buying that seat
Yes.
later and I'm not making impact right now.
Okay.
Therefore, right now, I'm really focused on what impact can I make. Yeah.
That's a good one. A message you can give to the youth, just as a parting shot or a conclusive remark. That youth that is watching at this particular moment is listening to you, Dennis, and has followed the conversation. I know we've touched on a lot of areas. What can you tell that youth?
Yeah, what I can tell my fellow youth is that we keep driving change in our own capacity. Yeah. Let us change the community within our own capacity.
Okay.
If you're there in your home and there's a challenge there which you think you can solve within your own capacity, do it. If you have an issue with a certain government official, a certain leader, go to the ballot and vote him out. If there is a certain leader who is working, go to the ballot and vote for him. Understand? If
Okay.
you are capable of leading and you feel you can drive the change, walk inside, talk to the voters, tell them your agenda, and who knows, you can get there and drive the change. That is what I can tell.
Okay.
them. Yeah.
A good message to end up the conversation. I know you may have some few guys you would wish to give a shout out to, including your chaps and your farm within the association that you are handling back in the Tarakaniti County and even from KCA.
Yeah.
You have a minute to do that.
Yeah, I have so many friends, so I
Okay.
can't mention a few because if I mention a few, the rest will think I've signaled them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a
But
nice
cheers
one.
to all my friends, cheers to all youth, cheers to all Gen Zs. Yeah, we continue fighting, we continue driving change, and we continue appreciating what is being done, even by
Nice
the
one.
government.
Okay. Dennis Mwaki, somebody who wants to follow you on social media, if you have your handles, you can mention them.
Dennis Mwaki. Yeah.
On Facebook, Dennis
Everywhere.
Mwaki. Thank you so much. That is Dennis Mwaki, a youth leader who took time to be with us on today's set of our show, and a nice episode again on Connect 254 Media, your all-time platform of getting inspired, getting mentored, getting to interact with everybody around the world, not just in Kenya, to have the latest of what is happening around us together and the latest of information that you would wish to wake up with in your fingertips. Keep it Connect to 54 Media through our socials. Get to YouTube, subscribe, you can comment, give us your views, share as many times as you can, share the links. Then again on Facebook, Connect to 54 Media, on Instagram the same, on TikTok the same. We would be glad to interact with you. I've been your host, Peter Wasonga. Have a lovely moment.